1% for the Planet's a network of companies that give at least 1% of their sales to environmental causes. Started by Yvon Chouinard and Craig Matthews a few years ago, and it's grown into a global movement that's got companies of every shape and size you can imagine.
Oh yeah. 6-7 years ago, we started a project to preserve and protect 5 miles of the Madison River with our 1% donations. This would be private property. It'd be essentially all developed into home sites, and anglers from around the world found out about it. And consequently, we were able to secure a conservation easement on basically 12,000 acres here, and this will forever be open to the public for fishing. And it wouldn't have been possible without people that stepped up to the plate and supported 1% members.
I'm Yvon Chouinard, the owner of Patagonie. Number 1.
And I'm Craig Matthews, member number 2, Blue Ribbon Flies of West Yellowstone, Montana.
The Patagonia and Yvon Chouinard's stamp on this thing meant a lot to us as far as its authenticity, and I think we've been believing in it ever since.
Well, it's growing more than 1 member a day now. I'm really pleased with that.
Certainly when we started it, I don't think either Yvon or I envisioned that this was going to be a big marketing deal, but it has become that.
I think it's been really easy for consumers to understand now what we're about when they see the 1% for the Planet logo on our bars. And that makes it, it just makes it much easier for us to get our message across.
The amazing thing about 1% for the Planet members is that they're all over the world. They're in every industry you can imagine, but they all share a very strong passion about using their businesses to affect positive change.
The soul out of tune guitar smells like cigarettes and bars. I guess that stuff sinks in. It's just where I've been.
When I moved to Portland right after I graduated from college in California, I knew that I wanted to live someplace where I could ride bikes as my main form of transportation. After a few years of being a bike messenger, I decided, okay, now I'm gonna get serious and do, real stuff. And I went to architecture school, love design, I love bikes more. So I decided that ultimately I had to just combine the loves of design and biking and build my own.
Make them last.
Sweet Pea Bicycles designs and builds bikes for women. It's really a great thing to do. It's why I'm in business, is to help women experience the joy of cycling on a bike that fits them well. When we started Sweet Pea, we decided that we wanted to create the company that we would ultimately want to work for. And in the end, it's turned out that it's also, to a large degree, meant that we've been building the life that we really want to live.
Make them last.
Putting the 1% sticker on the bike is an important and sort of subtle detail. I guess it takes the place of a lot of bikes have a tubing sticker, and it tells what materials the bike are made of. And I feel like the 1% sticker does an equivalent thing for us in saying what this bike is made of at a different level, that it's made of concern and thoughtfulness, and whether or not the person who rides the bike ever really thinks too much about what it means that 1% of the sale goes to an environmental cause. For us, it reminds us what we're made of. My hope is that when a customer pulls out her bike from the garage in the morning or the basement, and maybe she sees the 1% sticker, and maybe she associates that with a positive change in the world.
This was written by a child.
I think the small ones are as important as the big ones, because when I look at that list, I see a collective of people who are doing some pretty interesting things with their lives, and I want to be associated with people who are doing interesting things. That sort of intellectual vitality and willingness to step out and be a leader, that's important to me. That's good, clean fun.
And the small ones, yeah, that's 1% of a small amount, but that's what they made. So take it, because that same guy may flip a record in sell millions, and he's still going to give you 1%.
It really started to gain momentum when Jack Johnson came out with his album In Between Dreams, had the 1% logo on the back, and put that in front of literally millions of consumers. The album sold more than 5 million copies globally, and he really took it internationally, took it outside the outdoor industry too.
That affected everybody who likes his music, period.
Who's to say what's impossible, but they forgot. This world keeps spinning and with each new day.
What Jack chooses to focus his energies, his finances, and his successes on has sent the best message to everybody else in our office, every other artist on our label, and I think many musicians in the business that just respect what he does, they're all like tuned into it now. You know, he really has changed the paradigm of what it is to be a rock star, in my opinion.
I wanna turn the whole thing upside down. I'll find the things they say just can't be found. I'll share this love I find with everyone.
As his success grows, I think so does his feeling obligated to give back, you know, and I don't think a lot of people do that, and I think that's something I could be most proud of working for a guy like Jack and being friends with him, is to see how he's chosen to handle his successes. And you know, 1% of Jack is an incredible thing, you know, and I feel like that is a very legitimate, long-standing relationship that I think will be there as long as Jack is making music and putting out records.
I know it's the 1%'s about money and things, okay? It's important. We're trying to run huge global campaigns. It takes some resources. But the real spark is the commitment and involvement of companies on a much deeper level.
When you look at the members of 1%, you see a lot of great brands, and it's clear that the people behind those brands are saying that 1% and investment in the environment are both important parts of their business model.
Is this how it's supposed to be? How deep is that river? How deep is that river? I don't want to know where it's coming from.
Well, it started because of a trip to Belgium that our founder, Jeff Liebisch, took, and it has really evolved into a commitment to alternative transportation, and every bit as important, I think, to sort of celebrating that joyful experience that you have when you get on a bike. There's just something very kid-like about that experience, and it slows your world down, and you see your community at a more intimate level, and we're very interested in that kind of energy. We've built this incredible community of people who you walk in the doors at New Belgium and you just get this feeling that there's some magic, that people love being here, that we care deeply about our community. And oh, free beer, yeah, there is that. We like beer.
Down in the cool of the day, stirred up the waters and began to play. Before he knew it, man was on the land with a thought in his head.
I think that business can be an incredible catalyst for change, for the good of the environment. Those 1% businesses who donate serve as role models to other people to consider taking into account their environmental impact and celebrating the fact that as people in the business community, they really can make a difference by donating to the environment and banding together with a group of really great, like-minded companies to make change.
All right.
Bill McCraney here, Chickamauga Farm Ranch and Wildlife, Central Texas Organic Blueberry Farmers. Members of 1% for the Planet, number 664. I do.
I'm amazed at how you have a way of running circles round the light of day.
It's bliss to me. I mean, you get on that tractor and the whole world disappears.
What's going on in your great big mind?
Well, blueberries are good for you. They taste good and they'll grow here. They don't grow here great, but they grow. It's such a great experience when you can grow something that, honest to goodness, is so good and so good for you, and it makes people so happy. I mean, it's an exhilarating feeling. I mean, you can eat anything on this farm and it won't hurt you. It's all natural. But when these boys come out here to pick berries, not a berry hits the bucket. I mean, it's all hand to mouth, pretty much hand to mouth. And that's fine. I mean, at least they're out here picking. Beats me picking them for them. We give pamphlets out to everybody that picks, and we have a little sign, you know, and I mean, we're proud to be members. That's just part of something that we can do in order to spread the word. To me, it's kind of like selling vacuum cleaners. If you beat on enough doors, you're going to sell a vacuum cleaner. But if you give out enough pamphlets, somebody's going to join, and then somebody else will, and then lo and behold, here we go. It's just self-pride. I mean, it's pride in being a member of an organization that really gives a hoot about the world and the earth and the people and the animals and the fish and the critters in it. I think a lot of times if people know that there's a way that they can help, they will. And somebody needs to do what they are doing, and if I can help, by gosh, I'm going to help the best I can. There's more in life than money. Breathe in, breathe deeply, smell the flowers, listen to the birds, go fishing.
In 6 years, we've channeled more than $30 million to environmental causes. The amazing thing about that number is more than 2/3 of it has happened in the past 2.5 years. And that gives you a sense of the growth trajectory we're on. Now more than $10 million a year is flowing to environmental causes. It's very much within our reach to become one of the largest funders of environmental work anywhere as a network.
You're making a serious statement about your intention in the world, and I think it would be incredible if a company like Exxon would make that kind of serious statement. Come on, Exxon, get after it.
Damn right.
Yeah.
I'm real proud.
No, I think it's one of the best things I've ever done. It's a revolution, I think.
And I'm really excited about the future. I wish we had started it 20 years before, but what's done is done and we're going for it.
If you could get businesses, any business, to understand that they have more responsibility than to maximize profits for the shareholders or for themselves, that they have a responsibility to the planet. We all do. And the best way to do it is to just dig into your pockets and give the money away to people who are willing to do the good work.
Why don't you follow me down to the bay where the lights did shine yesterday, and I promise that you won't